How's it going everyone, it is Panjno here, and in this video we're going to be covering an incredibly quick and easy optimization which you can set on any Windows PC or laptop, regardless of how old, new, high or low end that machine may be. This is a very quick and easy optimization which you can set, which can help reduce the boot time on your PC, reduce resource usage of both the CPU and RAM whilst you're using other applications and playing games, and overall just helping speed up the system and declutter it from many background processes which you don't want. The feature is fully customizable, so you can go as in-depth with this as you want, or you can just take off a few processes and just clean up your system. It's very quick, simple and easy to do, and I'd recommend doing this on any PC. But before we jump into all of that, a message from today's video sponsor, AppMySite. AppMySite is a fantastic and easy to use utility which can allow you to create your own app in minutes with no coding required, allowing you to quickly and easily customize all visuals and utilities built within your app, allowing you to fully personalize your app for your brand goals. Whether you're looking to launch an app for a storefront, CMS websites, or something simple like a blog, AppMySite can help build 4 times more conversion with a focus on app design and useful features to attract more customers and increase session time, allowing for more and much healthier app conversions. All of the useful tools you would expect, such as push notifications, app monetization, team collaboration, auto-publish, real-time sync, and access to full analytics. And if you've got a current website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Connect your website to your mobile app. 2. Personalize the application, and 3. Publish your app using Google Play and the Apple App Store. So join the other 170,000 plus AppMySite customers by creating your app today using AppMySite via the link in the description below. And again, a massive thanks to AppMySite for sponsoring today's video. Before we start off changing anything within Windows, it is recommended to quickly set up a system restore point. As always, if you are wanting to just try out these optimizations and have the ability to set them back quickly and easily, you can either do this manually, or the easiest and fastest way to do this would be to set up a system restore point, which you can use after this video if you wish to revert everything back for any reason. If you do want to set up a system restore point, head to the bottom left, click your Windows button, type system space restore. Select create a restore point. Inside of here, navigate down to your local disk C drive, highlight and select this, select configure, make sure that turn on system protection is enabled at the top, go down to maximum usage, set this to about 5%. Press apply, press OK. This time navigate down to create, name the system restore point, so we'll just call this optimize or just anything random. Select create, and after a few short moments the system restore point will be created, and you'll be able to use this after all of the optimizations shown in this video if you do wish to revert them back for any reason. With that out of the way, we can now jump into the optimization. For this, navigate down to your Windows button. We're then going to type in msconfig.msc. Once you've typed that in, press enter. After a few short moments, the system configuration tab should open up. Inside of here, what we're going to start off by doing is navigating up to services. Now, it's very important when you're inside of this page to navigate down to the bottom to hide all Microsoft services. This will remove all of the Microsoft necessary services from this list, so you can't disable anything that is crucial to the system. Once that's then been deselected, everything within inside of here is a service which has been installed to your system, which may always be running. Now, depending on how old your Windows installation is or how many programs or applications are installed to your system, this page could be quite small or it could be incredibly large. It really just depends on your system. Inside of here, you'll then be able to find the manufacturers for all of the services, which will give you a clearer indication as to where the services have come from. So if I just decide to scroll down randomly, I can start seeing anti-cheat services for games in which I no longer use. There's an anti-cheat here which was defaultly running on my system for PUBG. There's another anti-cheat towards here at the bottom. Things like the Rockstar Game Library Service, Punkbuster, and because my Windows installation is relatively old, there are so many services within inside of here for applications I no longer use, which may or may not be still installed to the system, but will still have a service lurking which will automatically start with Windows, which will add additional boot up time to Windows, and still be running in the background, taking up resources and slowing down the machine. Every service you have running in Windows, even though it's a minuscule amount of resources, is taking up resources, and the more you have, the more resources are going to be used up. For the best system latency, the fastest and snappiest feeling system, and just to help reduce any random errors or stutters you may be experiencing with inside of games, you want to have this process list as minimal as possible and only have the processes enabled that you know you need. If there is something with inside of here that you are not sure what it is and you're not sure if you need it, leave processes like that alone. But if you can scroll down and identify something that you know you have no interest in using whatsoever, such as the Alienware Client Management Service, I have an Alienware monitor and I don't use the software for that whatsoever, so I don't want that running on my machine. So for this service, I'm going to unselect the box next to this, and upon the next system restart, this service will no longer boot. Once you've gone through this list and set these services for your system, if in the future you do run into a program that just won't open, or if you forget that you've disabled an anti-cheat for a certain game and you go to boot that game, you may run into an issue where it says that you can't connect or the game may not boot. If this is the case, boot back with inside of the services panel and just re-enable the service in which you disabled. So any services you wish to not keep running on your system, you just simply need to deselect and the service will no longer run. Once you've completed your services tab with inside of system configuration and you're happy with the services you've selected, go to the bottom right hand side and select apply. Once done with inside of there, we can then head up to the startup tab and select open task manager. Inside of this tab, these are all of the programs which are scheduled to boot with Windows the moment you log in. This again is one of the highest contributing factors to long login times from when your PC is completely turned off to booting it up and actually being able to use it. The more programs you have enabled with inside of here, the longer this is going to take to boot your system. And again, unless you close these applications after boot, they're going to be running on your system, soaking up resources and potentially conflicting with applications and games in which you play, causing stuttering or lower performance. Now, unlike the services tab, the startup tab in which we're inside of now, anything you disable with inside of here, you can still use on your system, you will just have to manually boot the program. So for instance, if I don't want Spotify to automatically open when I log in, I'll select Spotify, go to the bottom right and select disable. But if I still want to use Spotify at any point in my system, well, I can just head down and just open up the Spotify application via the desktop, my taskbar, or searching for it with inside of Windows, and the app will open no issue. So applications you disable in this page will not be turned off for good. You can still open them and use them, no issues. It just stops Windows automatically opening them and throwing 50 programs at you the moment you log in. I would recommend doing this for as many programs as possible, unless there are things with inside of here you want to automatically open. If you want something like a VPN to automatically boot, again, keep this set to enabled. But my advice would be only use applications with inside of here that you know you nearly always use and keep this to a minimum. The only applications I would keep enabled with inside of here, just to make sure that everything works perfectly, is any audio interface drivers you may have, like my Mackie audio interface driver here. You may have an Elgato, or you might not have anything whatsoever. Potentially keeping Windows security notifications, and also keep your Realtek HD Audio Universal driver enabled. If you're someone that uses Riot Games and you play Valorant, do keep the Vanguard tray notification enabled, just to make sure that Vanguard does work properly whenever you boot your system. Otherwise, you'll need to reboot your system every time you want to play Valorant. If you do run into any potential issues, you can either use the system restore point, or if you would like an application to boot back automatically because you've actually decided you do want to keep it, just find the application with inside of here once again, highlight it, go to the bottom, select enable. Upon the next system restart, you'll then be good to go and this will then be changed back. With that then completed, exit out of that panel and come back to the system configuration tab, which should still be open. Once all of that has then been completed, select OK. This will then prompt you to restart your system or exit without restart. At this point, we're going to select restart, as this is then going to apply all of the changes we've just made and boot your system up with all of the changes to stop those services and applications booting automatically. And at that point, there you go. Let me know of your results on your machines, how many services you've disabled, and the performance improvements from the amount of background resources used on your CPU and memory with inside of Task Manager. This is a fantastic optimization which can work alongside other optimizations which have come to the channel recently, such as being able to use ISLC or a memory cleaner automatically scheduled with inside of Windows to clear excess RAM usage and keep applications running to their optimal performance and helping you reduce micro stuttering. If that does interest you, consider checking out the 2 videos on screen now, as you'll be able to get more benefits on top of these and fully optimize your system for the best performance possible. As always, thank you ever so much for watching. I'm Panjno, and I'll see you in the next.